Hello, Springfield and surrounding areas. This is Chris Wallace and
I'm Jenna Linusars. Welcome back to Cat Chat.
Welcome back to Cat Chat. We are back for another year. They liked us so much. They said we can come back.
Year 3, Chris.
Year 3.
Third time doing this.
Twice, huh?
Yes.
2 times.
How do you feel?
Back for the 3 time. I'm feeling good.
New school year. Just got back for the summer.
Back for the summer.
You excited for a new year?
Yeah. Did a lot of traveling.
Good.
You know, with my son and basketball and stuff. So I'm ready to go.
I am too. And I'm ready for another year of bringing Cat Chat to everybody.
Yeah.
What a fun experience this has been for the past 3 years.
Yes. And you know what else we get to bring back?
Let me hear it.
The high five. Hey, what's up with the high five?
On point.
I love it.
All right. Now, for those of you who are familiar with how the high five goes, we have 5 highlights that we go through every single month on Cat Chat. And if you can tell us the 5 highlights that we talked about, then send it to the podcast email, podcast@scSDOH.org.
You said that fast.
I know. It's up here.
SCSD
Committed to memory.
All right.
Then you can have a cat swag bag provided by Paw Prints.
And the swag is at an all-time high around here thanks to Paw Prints. I'm telling you, the gear is amazing. So make sure you tap in.
Yep.
Do what Jenna said. Do exactly what she said.
Always
do exactly
Jenna said.
what she said. Do you hear me? And do it how she said to do it and get that swag back.
Absolutely. Well, even though it's just the start of the new year, we already have several things lined up here on the high five. Let me first shout out, number 1, the new STNA program at Springfield High School.
Okay.
So everyone in those courses, 2 different courses, are going to learn basically how to be an STNA. And at the end of it, they're going to learn how to take their STNA certification test, get the credential that they need. And after they're done, they could go out and get a job as an STNA.
That is awesome. That is very good.
Love
I think
it.
Wittenberg is starting some new stuff too and coexisting with the high school, with the STNA, with their STNA program as well. And mixing some mentorship.
Love it.
Should be awesome.
I'm excited to get in there and see what their classes look like. Should be a lot of fun for them.
All right.
Okay. Number 1, that was it. Okay. Number 2, it's the health center's 1-year anniversary.
1-year anniversary.
Love it. So exciting.
Did you like my horn?
I actually really did. I think we should make that a sound effect.
We should. And that place is very cool and convenient. If you have a student that attends Springfield High, you don't have to take them out anymore to go to a doctor's appointment. You can really schedule it. They write them a pass. They go down there. They have their appointment. You can meet them there. You can park right around back, meet your kid down in there, and then they can go right back to class. So they don't have to be missing a lot of educational hours to go to the doctor.
And you know what I just learned the other day, Chris? That in this past year, they have seen 4,000 patients, 4,000 visits.
That's awesome.
They've experienced 4,000 visits in a calendar year, which is crazy.
My son was one. And he didn't like it because he liked missing school and going to get lunch and then coming back. Nope. Go back to class. See you. And we're going to do it again this year. That's right. That is right.
That's awesome. Well, really excited for the health center. Happy 1-year anniversary, Springfield.
High five.
Oh, yes. Sorry.
We forgot to give
Oh, my God.
STNA. All right. We rusty. It's the first day.
Give us some grace.
All right. But the third one.
Yeah.
The third high five.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about the Hey
Word.
Word. The Hey-Word kids who do their own little podcast for Hayward. Well, they got to step out into the big boy land and head to WHIO and do the back to school forecast. How cool is that?
Oh, my God. They did so awesome. If you guys have watched that episode, you really should, because they came here, visited our podcast before they got started, and they've been killing it over at Hayward ever since then. So they got to see the newsroom at WHIO, do the back to school forecast, and really see the behind the scenes life of what it's like to be in news. So I love that for them.
That is awesome.
Keep climbing. I love that.
High five. Hey Word. Love it. Love it.
I love it. It's catchier than Cat Chat. I think they got us beat a little bit.
Yeah, they do.
All right. Well, number 4 has to go out to Clark Preschool because they just earned a state designation for inclusivity. So the acronym there is ICCP, and they are the only early education provider in our whole county to receive that designation for being inclusive for students with disabilities.
That is huge. I did not know that. See, I'm learning something right here. I did not know that. That was a secret high five. That was a good one.
On the low key there.
Good one.
But happy to broadcast that for them. That's awesome. What a great place to send your preschoolers. So I'm excited for them. All of their hard work paying off.
And they run out of space quick.
Absolutely, they do.
They run out of space quick. So if you have a toddler that's about to start to head into the realm of education in school and you want to use the Clark Center, you better pay attention. You might want to tune in to Cat Chat and make sure you're watching us so we can tell you when the registration opens for that, because it fills up pretty quick.
Absolutely. Well, shout out Clark Preschool. Excellent job.
That was a little off. That was a little off. We didn't throw the high five with it.
It's our bad.
It's all right.
All right.
Hey, we're open book in training here, trying to get knock the rust off.
Speaking of Clark.
Yes.
They were one of several elementaries that did welcome back videos this year. Maybe you have seen those on our social media. If you haven't, you have to check them out because I think they brought such a good energy to the start of the school year to get people excited to come back to the buildings.
We ready. We ready.
We see you, LaGonda.
I loved it. I loved it. Had the hands up, pointing at the screen. I think that got the kids a little excited too. I know if parents saw it and said, "Hey, look at your teachers," you know.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Well, you think about like all the stuff you have to go through to get to the start of school, right? And I'm sure it can be stressful, a little chaotic, like just a little, 10-second dose of positivity for you to get you excited for what you're going to step into. I love that. And they all came up with their ideas themselves. I feel like maybe it sets the standard for us as the Dome. Like, does the Dome need to do one?
Man.
Maybe we need to tap in next year.
We might have to tap in. I got some hot bars before we started casting. I was working on my bars. I got hot bars to do something, so maybe we have to.
Well, you got a whole year to think about it now. Write that down.
Yep, I got a whole year. We'll have it ready. All
right, so those are the high five. Oh, we got a high five. Oh, I'm so sorry. We're going to get it together.
We on there.
So those are the 5 high five items. Send those to the podcast email first and get your cat swag bag.
Second.
Who we got on the show today, Chris?
Well, we got the Cat Den happenings. Tell me what's going on at the Cat Den happenings.
Ooh, well, again, if you are loyal Cat Chat viewers, you remember at the start of school last year, we talked to our 3 employees of the year. We're doing the same thing this year. All new employees of the year here in our district, honoring all groups of employees. So our administrators are certified, which is usually teachers, and then classified, which is our support staff. So all 3 of them, I'm excited, are going to be on the show today. And they're going to talk about the award, what they do in the school system and, why they've chosen us.
Employees of the year.
Of the year.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
And all great people. So It should be a good segment.
Yes. Well, the alumni segment.
You got a good one today.
I got a legend. The one and only Miss Amanda Jackson. She does so much. She put her name on the map as a young female athlete. Went on to do some amazing things at Miami of Ohio. And the things that she is currently doing makes her even more of a legend. What she does in the community and what she does for our community. And there's some things some people may not know that she's done for our youth as well. She saved a couple programs of things really taking a dive down here. So we're going to get into that. So make sure you stay tuned.
Right. Most of you probably know her as Officer Jackson.
Officer Jackson. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that'll be a great interview.
Oh, yeah.
And then we're capping off the show with Levi Duncan. He's going to be our community connection segment today.
Levi.
And I think he has so much to share about being an entrepreneur, being a business person, and some good advice to kids about, hey, maybe you want to do the same thing. Here's what you need to have. I'm excited to hear from him and, some of his new projects that people may have noticed downtown, the Metropolis.
That's right.
So, yeah, we've got a full show today, full deck.
Well, let's get into it.
Okay. All right.
We'll be right back on Cat Chat.
Hey everybody, welcome to our first Cat Den Happenings segment of the school year on Cat Chat, and I am joined by 3 incredible employees, in fact, the best of the best. These are our employees of the year for this past school year. So really happy to introduce all of them to you. Perhaps you know some, but if you guys could go one by one, say your name and your position in the district.
I am Patrick Smith, and I have the honor of being principal at Lincoln Elementary School.
Awesome.
I am Doug Stoll, and I'm part of the safety team at Springfield High.
I'm Sara Gillespie, and I am an intervention specialist at Hayward.
Perfect. So for some perspective, how this process works is we have an employee recognition program. All of these lovely people were voted on by their colleagues to be the employee of the month. Then we have a big pool of nominations, and a committee selects who's going to be our employee of the year for each designated group. So knowing all of that, knowing the number of employees that we have here, what was everyone's first reaction when they learned that they were the employee of the year?
I found out on my first day back at administrative training when Dr. Hill announced it in front of everybody.
Same.
It was a pretty awesome experience. I tried not to let my allergies act up too bad. But, you know, it's such an honor to be associated with a school like Lincoln, and all of our achievement is associated with the staff and the professionals who fill that school. So I just feel an honor to be recognized, but it's also important to acknowledge that it's a full team effort that makes us successful.
Mm-hmm. And Patrick, you had kind of a little extra surprise when you had your building back together.
Yeah, they made me. I should have wore the shirt. They made me this awesome shirt. They all cheered for me to walk in. I had my opening day agenda, and they totally derailed it. But it was a nice problem to have, and they're an awesome group to work with.
Awesome, Doug. How'd it feel? AKA fresh.
It was very humbling.
Yeah.
I found out from email from Miss Casto, even though somebody else during the summer told me she knew something and did not tell me what it was.
I can't imagine who that would be.
But I just go up and do my job. I work in the Green Hall, the Green Mile. A lot of great people. Mm-hmm. Down the Red Hall's pretty good because I got Natalie down there with me, but our team is pretty good, and there are some amazing people in that building. Mm-hmm. And that's why I go and do what I do every day.
Well, and your award actually follows your Golden Shoe Award, so you're kind of like back to back right now.
Yeah. And then they told me this week I had my own parking place at the high school.
Hey.
And I'm like, I like where I parked before. I don't need that. No.
We'll move the sign for Doug.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
Sarah, how did it feel?
Completely shocked. I always get really nervous before the first day of school going back and like just getting back into the swing of things. It's like the Mondayest Monday, you know, because you have been off for so long. And they announced it at staff meeting, and, you know, everybody cheered. I'm just like not good at being the center of attention. So I was like, oh, geez, thanks. But I got a lot of like supportive emails and just, you know, just people saying congratulations. Mm-hmm. And it just feels huge because there are so many like just insanely talented teachers in the district. And so to be recognized is like a huge honor.
Absolutely. Well, and I'm so glad that, you know, after last year's first group of employees, you know, we're continuing the legacy with all of you. I'm very fortunate to know all of you personally. So very deserving. I think that goes without saying. I'd really like to know why you like working in Springfield City School District. All of you are not newbies, but, you know, what keeps you coming back year after year?
The kids.
Yeah, for sure.
The kids are great.
Yep. And we're making a difference, moving the city forward. I'm all in on the city of Springfield. My son goes to these schools, and you really can't make a bigger investment than that. I wouldn't put him here if I didn't believe in this city and these people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I grew up here,
Same.
went to school here.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
My wife went to school here, my daughters. I coached in this district for 30-some years, and I just love being around young people. I try and make a difference, because I know how I was when I was that age. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. If I can get them going in the right direction, makes me feel good. Sure. Plus, I work with a lot of great teachers. They're amazing. You guys do a great job.
Same.
And it's a tough job.
Yeah, it's a tough job. I also think just watching the kids, like, you know, they go on to the high school from the middle schools, and you see them do things, and they, you know, they email you and they tell you what they're up to and what they're doing. It's just like, you know, it's like that proud mama moment for all these thousands of kids that I know now. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's great.
Well, and I'm just realizing as we're all sitting here that, currently you guys are all at each stage of our kids' journey. Patrick, elementary, Sarah, middle, Doug, high.
Yeah.
So, at some point they could have experienced all of you or will experience all of you. And I think that's really cool. That was not purposeful, but as we're sitting here, I'm noticing it. And it's a really cool moment. What would you say is your favorite part of your daily job? If you had to pick out one routine, one, one ritual, one little moment in each of your days that is your favorite.
I would say hands down morning arrival. Lincoln's a really energetic place to be in the morning. People show up ready and happy, and there's a lot of hugs.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I enjoy going out in the morning because I have to go out when the buses come in.
Mm-hmm.
I get to greet the kids, and sometimes we have some beautiful sunrises.
Mm-hmm.
So you're out there, and kids, some of them are sleepy, some of them are awake. I like that part. I also like in the hallway, I get a lot of high fives from kids just out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
I have to say, definitely morning. Mr. Hogan, it's 90s R&B every morning. And
Oh yeah, he
in
did
the
it in the green
entryway.
hallway.
So it's like taking me right back to sophomore homecoming. And it's just a good vibe. The kids just walk in and they know that we're there for them. And I teach with my very best friend in the entire world. So, one of my very best friends.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So, it's just a good vibe at Hayward. Love it.
What do you feel like in your career in education, working in our school district, is a memory that's always going to stick out to you?
I've got thousands, but what I always come back to is it's a people-based business, and I've met some of the finest educators in my career here in Springfield.
Mm.
Yeah, and some of the coolest people.
Yeah, and the promise keepers is really what it boils down to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I love seeing people do right by these kids. I feel like some of them have so much going on. And, watching them feel like school is their safe place. They feel like they can come in and be who they are and that they're safe and loved. And that feels amazing to me.
I love seeing some of the kids change and grow.
Oh, yeah.
And you can see it from year to year.
Yeah.
And then they'll come back. I had a kid come up to me the other day. I'm not going to be a problem this year.
And you're like,
and
okay.
he hadn't been.
Yeah.
I think about the difference between a freshman and a senior, too.
He's a sophomore. He's a junior now. Okay. That's great.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what I told him. I tell him I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
Because I don't think these kids hear that enough.
Mm-hmm.
Totally.
They don't get a whole lot of hugs or positive stuff.
Mm-hmm. What are you guys looking forward to about this school year? What gets you excited?
Well, all sorts of stuff. I'm looking forward to the end of the first quarter. We do quarterly awards ceremonies, and they're always a good time to see kids get recognized for things that they either didn't know, strengths they didn't know they had, or skills that they didn't have prior that the staff helped them develop. Those are always super special moments. Mm-hmm. We started the year with a field day, so on the first Friday we had an outdoor field day. That was a really good memory, and we'll finish the year in the same way.
Nice. It's a lot of fun.
I'm just looking forward to, we made some changes at the high school, and so far they are working very well.
Good.
That's
good.
So hopefully that stays, because I see a lot of positives this year.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. Well needed. Yep.
I think I'm just looking forward to all of it. We have a lot of new faces at Hayward, so we're getting to know each other, and which is a good thing. We've got lots of people there who've been there forever, and we love seeing every year, but we've also got lots of people who are learning the ropes, and hopefully they'll become part of the family, and it'll all work out.
It's a good word, family.
Yeah, we're definitely a family.
Yep.
I'm really looking forward to the Battle of the Bots competition again. We did that last year.
Drone soccer
Very
is
close to winning,
yeah.
and I was so proud of the team. I can't wait to see what they come up with this year.
I remember how proud you were of those kids.
That's
Still am.
awesome.
Oh my gosh.
cool.
That's
it
really cool.
made my heart so warm to see all of you, right, as principals out there supporting the kids, and everyone had such a good time.
It was great. Yeah.
What do you feel like this award specifically, or what do you hope it brings about as far as education about educators, education about your fellow coworkers, any positive that you can take from it?
For me, it's really important that Lincoln is on the map. We're trying to be an oasis on the south side of Springfield. There's multiple other elementary schools in the district, and we would like to see ourselves on the top of the pile.
This is kind of the thing that starts inside the building. And, you know, I felt like part of the reason why I had the nominations that I did was because I had like worked with so many different groups of teachers and people, and like just getting out of the room and like getting to know other people was the reason why there were that many nominations. So sometimes subjects tend to stick with their own subjects and stuff. And I felt like we branched out more last year and all supported each other, which was really cool.
See, I don't know what I should talk about because I'm safety team, I'm announcer, I'm DJ, so I don't know.
But you fill so many hats, right? And that's how people know you.
They need something, I can
sometimes
do
love
it.
you.
Pardon me?
I said sometimes we love you.
Most of the time.
It's cool to have people know your name.
But, you know,
Doug.
I like what I do.
Yeah.
And, you know, yeah, I can DJ. Yeah, I can announce. Safety team, I just try and I hope everybody follows my lead. I'm not trying to be the leader, but I try and set an example on how it's supposed to be done, and people can depend on me.
I don't know if I've ever asked you, Doug, but, you know, after your first career, why did you want to come into a school system and work full time?
Okay, that's a good story because I've had a bunch of jobs, but I had a job that I really didn't like, and I just retired from coaching baseball. And the guy that they hired, people were complaining about on Facebook, and my wife saw it was a safety team job. She goes, "You ought to apply for that. You like being around kids." Came up, talked to Kwame Gaines, asked him about it. Said, "It's chill, fresh, you'll love it." Came in, he interviewed me, and I love it. So, yeah.
Awesome.
Huh?
What do you guys wish for the students this year? If they were sitting in front of you, what would be, you know, the mantra you're passing on to them for this fresh new year? Any pieces of advice?
I mean, I'd probably start with safety is the prerequisite for learning, you know, so we have to have a safe environment. And I think self-belief is really the thing we're all trying to awaken in these children. They have strengths that we see that they may not have recognized in themselves yet.
I was going to say the same thing. I think just doing your best, and that like your best doesn't always look like someone else's best. It can look really different, and it can still be really good for you. Like, and as long as you're putting all the effort you can into something, then that's all you can do.
Realizing some of their potential.
Oh yeah.
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 Because I think they undersell themselves sometimes.
Absolutely. They don't see themselves the way we see
They
them.
don't reach high enough.
100%.
Yeah.
Any other things that, you know, you want to share moving into this new year, whether that is about your award designation, whether it's about the school year in general, any other tones you want to set?
We are excited and energized over at Lincoln, and we will remain so. We've had a great start to the year and faced some challenges already with success and not faltering. I could not be surrounded by a stronger team, and I think we are really poised for greatness.
Go ahead.
Yeah, same. This is the town that I was also born and raised in. So, you know, it's great to see the city schools just do the town proud. I think we do a lot of extra things like the bots.
So many extra things.
And like, you know, Hayward did all the stuff with the drone soccer last year, which ended up being like the coolest thing. And I just love that. I love that for the kids, like just broadening their horizons.
I'm trying to help get a more positive spin put on Springfield City Schools.
Absolutely.
I get out in the public and I'm like, you guys have no idea what it's like there.
Yeah.
If you walked in, you get a different perspective.
Yeah.
It's better than what everybody says.
Yeah.
Well, and, you know, each of you with your background, you have that now, right? Like you probably know so much more sometimes maybe than you wanted to know, you know, prior to your role here. But it's the inside perspective, right? And it's all the things that we don't see from the outside.
Well, even a lot of the outside metrics are starting to tick up. Our achievement is improving.
Yes.
Our attendance rates are improving, both at the staff and student level. So, change in an organization this large takes time, but we are seeing the immediate developments and returns on our investments. And I think that's super encouraging, and also puts wind in everybody's sails to keep going.
Yep.
Engagement with the community, that's
Absolutely.
definitely on an uptick.
Yeah. Well, to just kind of wrap it up again, I want to say congratulations to each of you. Again, this was out of 1,500 employees, and I'm sitting here with the best of the best 3. So I hope you guys know how valuable you are and how much we appreciate each of you and what you bring to our school district. So I'm wishing you a fantastic school year, and we'll be right back with our next segment of Cat Chat. Hey everybody, welcome back to Cat Chat. I'm here today on the Community Connection segment with Levi Duncan, a local entrepreneur here in Springfield. Levi, thank you so much for joining us.
Well, thank you for having me.
So you have your hands in a lot of different things here in Springfield. And so I really want to take the time to unpack with you all of those different things, all of the different skills and assets that you're bringing to this community. So I'll just kind of open it up to you. Tell me a little about yourself and what you're getting into these days.
Yeah, so as she said, my name is Levi Duncan. So I came to the States in 1991. So I'm an immigrant from Trinidad and Tobago, little island off the coast of Venezuela, jelly stain on the map. Came over here because my family thought it would be a great place to have a career and for all the kids to really grow. So joined the military when I was 17. Went through high school and didn't really know exactly what I wanted to do. And, back then, they always tell you, make sure you know what you want to do. Well, I didn't. The military turned out to be a really good avenue for me, mainly because you can, if you are a brain that's, you're more squirrel than focused, they can really hone that in and give you opportunities where that type of personality can thrive. So I'm an intelligence officer by trade. So I did 19 years in the Air Force and then 5 years in the Space Force. And the big skills that I took from that really will become the foundation of what I've done here in Springfield is, the ability to analyze information at a foundational level and apply it to any customer. So I started off with aircraft, then I went to ground forces, then I went to space forces, and everything in between. And I think the underlying theme there is, once you learn that foundational knowledge and the ability to collect and analyze information and be able to pivot and apply the foundational skills that you have to any problem set, then you can be successful. And I think that's where my passion for the youth and high school, as I'm part of this STEAM advisory board, really plays a part, because I want to show the importance of what they're learning now, that they might not understand how it applies, but that foundational knowledge gives them the foundation to build upon any problem that they want to get after. And I think they'll see that as I've pivoted out of the military into what I've been doing here in Springfield.
So how do we make that connection between your military background and then, some of the business ventures that you're involved in now? What was the switch for you?
Yeah, so my dad was a retired remodeler. He still is. He still does small stuff on the side. And I knew, I love construction. I love building things. I love taking old things and making it new. But I knew that's not what I wanted to do day in and day out. Mainly because I get bored and I want to move around. I realized that I like to go into the analogy I give is a factory, and you have a problem. You have something that you want to make in the end, or you need something that refurbished at the end. And I want to be the one that goes in there and figures out all the different cogs and things that you need to put into that factory to make it optimized and efficient to actually make that product. And I realized that I had that ability from the military, because they gave you skills and they gave you training, but they didn't tell you how you're going to apply it until you get exposed to a problem. So when I came here to Springfield, so the first thing I saw that was a problem was the construction industry, mainly home maintenance. there wasn't a lot of competition. There wasn't a lot of people with the ability or the mindset that they want to scale to a level that will actually help the community move forward. There's a lot of good people here in Springfield that want to better the community, but they just don't have the ability to think to the scale that
Sure.
we need.
Yep.
So teaching them that, and then having students that are coming up behind me learn that ability to think bigger than they are right now, I think is where that connection needs to happen. I started my construction company in 2021. We're now in 2025. It's 4 years. And we went from the first year being a $300,000 company to now around $3 million in revenue in that time frame. But revenue doesn't really just speak to the success. We also have 18 W-2 employees and subs. So we're creating jobs, we're creating opportunities for people, and we're changing what people see in the construction industry, what kind of experience we're giving them. We're big into the experience. So our core principle, which the Small Business Development Center here in Springfield was one of the key partners that I used when I started up my business. They helped me build out my core principles. The first one that we kind of, over a few days, we built out was the experience is just as important as the final product. So a lot of people they can be the best a carpenter, they can be the best electrician, but they don't focus on the experience that the customer's getting. And especially not in maintenance or construction. We're known to be, pretty gruff, and, we'll give you a good product, but at the end, you're going to be worn out.
Yeah.
Because, we didn't invoice you correctly. We didn't communicate. We showed up when we want. We kept your house dirty. All those things lend into the experience. And that's really what people are looking for. People want a good experience when they go to things. They want the Chick-fil-A of construction.
The Chick-fil-A of construction.
That is, it's funny. So when I first started Liberty, that was the shirt we wore. I didn't know what branding I wanted to have. So for about first 6 months, all my employees had the Chick-fil-A of construction on their back before I figured out I'd probably get sued for doing that. So
It's so relatable though, right? Like
yes.
People understand what that looks like.
Absolutely. So it wasn't just for the customer, it was mainly for my employees. So as we hired people on, that was part of my interview questions. It was like, can you buy into that culture? I want to be the Chick-fil-A of construction, where you are smiling, you are making sure that customer feels like they're getting A+ service all the time. Then I want you to be a really good carpenter.
Yeah.
Take care of the customer and give them a good experience. Because if you mess up someone's door, if you gave them a good experience, they're going to allow you to come back and fix the door.
100%.
And it's not going to bother them. But if you give them a poor experience and you give them a bad product,
bad door, yeah.
that doesn't work. And that has paid dividends for us. That's what keeps the phone ringing, is that good culture that you build within your company.
That's a fabulous starting point, and such a fresh perspective to hear. I want to make sure that, we talk about an exciting venture for you, which is the Metropolis downtown. Would you mind sharing with people, what that is, what you're looking to provide for people there, and where they can find it?
Yep. So the Springfield Metropolis was it came out of me just searching through LoopNet, which is a commercial real estate, similar to like Realtor.com. I love real estate. I've bought and sell real estate throughout my military career, mainly because we constantly moving. So I always bought real estate. When I saw this massive church in the middle of downtown that was been sitting for about 3 years, so Central Methodist, which is across from Grandpa Joe's, it's on Central and Center Street and High. I think they closed in 2020, and they merged with East High Methodist, and they turned it into a community center. Well, 6 months later, COVID happened, and obviously no one's commuting, so that died, and the building closed up. Well, that is a travesty. This building was built in the early 1900s, just beautiful architecture that I wanted to make sure it gets saved, because like I said, I have that passion for taking old things and making sure it doesn't go away. Springfield's history we have to maintain, and we have to make sure that we're good stewards of it and not just let it disintegrate. So I ended up buying this building in May of 23. It's a 45,000 square foot building. I think it's sat for that long because you need someone with vision for what you're going to do with 45,000 square feet.
Absolutely.
There's the reason a lot of those buildings sit and they deteriorate is because no one thing can cash flow the building. You know, the numbers have to make sense. So as I went into that building, the big thing that I saw was a grand Capitol room, or their sanctuary, and I wanted to make sure that we kept the history of that space and the sanctity of that space. So we ended up with an event venue. So that took up about 6,000 square feet, but it still goes back to the numbers have to make sense. So the other half of the building, we ended up making leasable space, so young entrepreneurs can actually make their start. So right now we have the Nehemiah Foundation on the top floor, which we call Uptown. So the whole thing is called the Metropolis because I have this long-term vision basically to make an entire Metropolis district downtown.
Okay.
So we have Uptown, Midtown, and Downtown inside the building.
Okay.
So Uptown has the Nehemiah Foundation. Midtown, we have a hair salon, Vivid Grace.
Okay.
She was a hair salon that worked locally for 19 years in a beauty shop and decided, she wants to own her own business. She came in and I instantly told her, go to the SBDC, have them work you up a business plan. I sent her to New Carlisle Federal, my bank, and they got her a loan within a month. She was funded, she had a business plan, and she was ready to go. Awesome. She was nervous as all.
Sure, yeah.
She was definitely nervous, but she has, I think, 3 stations in there where she has other people working in there, highly successful. My wife gets her hair there, I think it's 3-month wait just to get your hair done in there. She is, and so she's doing great.
Yeah.
Downtown, we have the Literacy Center. So the Water Literacy Center, they moved from the building that they were in historically. And then recently we have Head Start.
Okay.
So the Miami Valley Child Development Center has moved one of their classes in there. So 17 young 4 and 5-year-olds are going to be having their class there. And here, probably mid next year, you will probably see a brand new playground on the side of the building where there was a defunct playground from probably years and years ago. So we have some continued development that we're going to be doing on there. But overall, that building is now cash flowing and it's a success, and it's brought back into use by the community. So far, we have weddings. So every Saturday in May, every Saturday in June, and I think we have about 5 or 6 weddings all the way in 2027 right now.
That's awesome.
Scheduled. So it's just great project. I loved going through it, and I'm just excited to see where we go next.
Well, it's such a creative use, right? Bringing all of those different entities in the same space, and taking something that, was probably on its way out, right? I can't imagine that many people are seeking out churches that are no longer in use, but you're exactly right. Like, what a large space, physical space in our downtown that needed to be revitalized. So that's fabulous.
Absolutely. So we've had so many community members that said, my grandfather, my great-grandfather got married in this church. They were members, and they've come back and thanked us for
that's cool.
Maintaining the building and respecting what was there, but bringing it to the current state, so everyone can enjoy it.
Yeah. So working with our district, again, with all of these different skill sets that you bring to the table, talk about your role on the Business Advisory Council for our district and what that looks like.
Yeah, so when I was invited to join the advisory board, it was wasn't really sure what avenue they wanted me to take, but I quickly realized it's my lane is that entrepreneurial spirit, and giving students, giving them a way they can carve a pathway if they don't understand what they really want to get into. So I have one of my kids, he wants to go to medical school. He already knows. But I have one of them that, he's probably more like me. He doesn't really understand where he wants to go. So a lot of times those kids struggle because they don't know if they should be going to school. They don't know if they should just go into something like the trades. And sometimes they get stuck in the middle. So trying to come up with a way where I can explain, hey, if you don't really know where you want to go, there are specific skills that will set you up regardless of what path you want to go. Financial literacy, that is extremely important. It doesn't matter what venture I've been into. If I didn't understand the finances, something is going to go wrong.
Absolutely.
So financial literacy is a key foundational piece that I want to make sure that that's being taught in that entrepreneurial pathway.
Yeah.
And then other key foundational things. So being part of that, I think, is really exciting. It's humbling from where I've come from to now to be able to give back in that way.
So realizing that, this episode is going to be available to the public, the community, our students, whoever chooses to watch, what are some of those key things that you feel like students watching who, maybe want to be an entrepreneur, maybe want to own their own business, what are some of those key things that you think they need to have, right? You mentioned the financial literacy piece, but, just intrinsic values. What is the spirit of an entrepreneur in your eyes?
So I would say the one thing I think about an entrepreneur is grit. The ability to pivot through problems because they will and constantly happen. They're in this day and age, people are too quick to quit. My big mantra for any entrepreneur and my kids, I have it posted in my house. It's win or learn. You're either going to win or you're going to learn. Never fail. So the only time you're going to fail is if you don't learn from your mistakes. Those mistakes really, really expedite and becomes the fuel for your success. If you're constantly just putting yourself in a position where you're not uncomfortable and you're not taking risk, mitigated risk, then you're not going to get to where you want to go. And you're going to protect yourself from really beautiful things that could happen. So have grit, have mentors, and really use the resources that's available to you. Here in Springfield, there's so much resources that I didn't have available to me in other states. And I've been to a lot of states because I've lived all over the place. I've lived overseas. The military have moved me so much. I've had the pleasure of being able to see the environments that is out there for entrepreneurs. And Springfield is a beautiful place for that. You have the SBDC. You have local banks that are really in tune with entrepreneurs. The city is they're big into helping entrepreneurs. The school system. This is the first place. Just me being here shows how in tuned and committed the school system is with entrepreneurs and the growth of their students. And then the last thing I would say is if you don't feel like your path is to go to college one of the smartest people I have working for me right now never went to college. But the guy is one of the smartest people I know. His street knowledge and his grit and his ability to, from finance to wiring a house to plumbing a house and then back to office work and then leadership, he built that from being out there in the trades. The last thing I was talk about is don't knock the trades. The trades is going to be a major player here in the next 10 years. Right now, the plumbing industry, if you try to find a plumber here in Springfield, you're going to be hard pressed. There are very few plumbing companies that are still around, and a lot of them are owned by seniors that really want to pass the torch.
Yes.
I talked about Liberty, so we started off with remodeling. We now are state licensed for electrical, so we have our electrical division. And then this past year, we bought DeLong Heating and Air.
Okay.
From Ted DeLong. So now we're state licensed for HVAC. So if you need any services, we probably can do it all.
Yeah.
A little shout out. But the main reason I say that is Ted ran that company for 30, 40 years, and he's ready to pass that mantle. But he wants to pass it to someone that's going to take care of it and going to grow it past where he got it. There's so many companies like that out there, and that's where those entrepreneurs that's coming up now, you don't have to start some from scratch. Someone already did it. Acquisitions is a great place to go. And if you can show that you have the ability to make good decisions, you have a plan, you can go to a bank, and most banks will hear you out and they will fund you because it's a good investment. But at that point, they're investing in you. So you have to make sure that when you go in there, you have that that foundation. You can speak to the finances, you can speak to your leadership abilities and your plan to take that company from zero to hero.
Well, I think that's an excellent place for us to wrap up today. Levi, thank you so much for taking some time out of your day to come on, share your experiences and all of your knowledge. We really appreciate it.
Hey, thank you for having me.
All right, we'll be right back with more Cat Chat.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Cat Chat, and welcome back to our alumni segment. And today, I have a legend, all right? A philanthropist, a big-time community member. Proud to say I know this person. Let's all give a warm welcome to Miss Amanda Jackson.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you, Chris, for having me on the show.
That's
Look
right.
forward to it. Have a conversation.
All right. Well, how's everything with you right now? How's everything going?
I would say I'm feeling pretty good. The job, the career is going well. The family's doing well. I'm excited to be back in the school. We're in our second week of the school year,
That's right.
so it's rolling.
That's right.
We're rolling.
Awesome. And you can see the uniform, so we already know the profession. But before we get into the profession, what was it like being in this building right here that is now called the Dome? We both were South High Wildcats. I was also a Panther. I don't want everybody to be, oh, you went to North too, my freshman and sophomore year, but I graduated as a Wildcat, South High Wildcat. We're in this building. Walking in, did it rekindle anything, or what was it like being in school at South High during your tenure?
I mean, I could just tell you right now, just walking up the steps from Mr. Gordon leading me up to this room, it was bringing back flashbacks.
Yeah.
I can tell you from 9th grade, we used to enter these the doors to the north and go into science class. But I mean, this building is historic. This place is, it brings back so many memories, pride, great times, and just a really, like, you feel connected to the community when you walk the halls here in this building. And I have to tell you, just coming in as a freshman, this was the place I wanted to be.
Absolutely.
So to be able to, graduate from South, it was amazing. Like, you wanted to be a Wildcat.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Speaking of being a Wildcat, you wasn't just a Wildcat. You was the Wildcat at the time. And I know you're a humble person, but can we talk a little bit about your accolades and what you did? And, you chose the athletic path, and by golly, you took it by the horns and made a lot of noise around here in the Springfield community.
Yeah. Well, sometimes it is a little difficult to talk about yourself
Absolutely.
in that regard, but I will say I give a lot of honor and recognition to Rick Butler, who used to be the principal here, to my coaches, Coach Ballard, Coach Terry Tolliver, my coaches in AAU, Coach Coffey, and my parents. I was a little girl. I didn't know I was that good until people keep telling you in your ear.
Yeah.
And I remember Mr. Butler sent me to his office. Being a freshman, you're a little nervous to get sent to the principal's office. So he sat me down, and he was like, "Why aren't you at practice today?" I'm like, "What do you mean, sir? At practice? All I want to do is play basketball." He's like, "No, you're going to be at that track after school." And I'm like, "Yes, sir." I had no idea. And so that's how I continued to run track in high school, because in middle school, if you talk to my coach, Larry Ashball, he'll tell you, "Oh, you run cross country to get in shape for basketball." "Oh, no brainer. I'm there.
Yeah.
I'll run." And so that kind of just went into high school. And I mean, the story kind of speaks for itself. I was running a track meet one day, and one of my teachers, I can't recall her name, but she was like, I got done running a race. She said, you could play your way out or run your way out. And it stuck with me.
Wow.
And I'm like,
you can play your way out or run your way out.
yes, sir.
That is awesome.
Yeah. And fast forward, we started winning games for South, and, we're competing against the Beaver Creeks and Centervilles and Kenton Ridge, and was able to earn an athletic scholarship to Miami University and had a pretty good career there as well.
That is awesome. And you spoke about, I was going to go right, it was great. It sends me right into the next question. You spoke about, as soon as I asked about you and your accolades, the main thing you talked about were the people who helped you get to you still kind of skipped over your accolades, but we're going to let that slide. But you spoke highly about the people who helped you. Can you talk about it? Because there's kids listening too. Can you talk about the importance of having, and not only having, listening and absorbing what a mentor or someone is trying to give you who's had a few more ice cream seasons than you. Can you talk about the importance of engaging and listening and applying when an adult gives you information?
I think for the most part, when you know where they come from, you listen a little bit closer. And the people that came into my life, it was like, they know what they're talking about. I should listen. If I want to be successful, listening and doing your part, that's where the success is going to come from. I can recall practicing in Tiffany Gym. There's one of those days where I don't want to run that hard because I just didn't feel like it.
Right.
And Coach Jamie Stewart pulled me outside into the concession area and was like, what are you doing? You don't get to take plays off. You're one of the best players on the court. You need to keep working hard, push yourself. And so people like that, they stick out, and they really imprint something on your heart and your mind when you're trying to pursue what I was trying to pursue. And so I hold on to those people and to those things. And, being a coach myself, it's like, those little gems that they drop, you hope that, when you throw it out there, they'll catch it and hang on to it.
All right. So I could tell that it made a very big impression on you. Probably so much to where you felt compelled to start to give back. As you said, you started to coach. You've coached some really good female basketball players, but not only just basketball players. You did something very important in this community that people may not understand when our youth programs were done. Both organizations, Tigers, Broncos, were done, and those were the youth programs, basketball and football, and sometimes baseball. I think the Broncos tried to do that.
Yep.
Everything was done, and there was no youth program in Springfield, Ohio. But you and your organization, to become one, stepped up, rolled their sleeves up, and jumped in there and saved a youth program and did it to the point where somebody could take it from you and continue to roll with it. How did you come about that? Because I don't think people understand how important that was for our youth.
It kind of really fell into our laps. I would say kudos to my family because we wanted to do something special. And it all started with a 6th grade boys basketball team, AAU basketball team. And when you talk about the youth organizations kind of folding or no longer wanting to continue, it was like we got presented an opportunity. And it was like, we never thought about running a football program, but, we're here for the kids. And we know where our hearts are, and we know what we can provide. And so when you put the right people in place, it kind of just took off. I mean, it was a phenomenal year. I mean, to think so many people wanted to be a part of our organization, like we had to step up and lead them in the best way that we knew possible. And then you fast forward like a year or two with football, then it's like there's a basketball program.
Yeah.
So that one AAU basketball team turned us into a youth sports program where we had football and cheer, where we had youth basketball. And I'm telling you, the other things that we were able to do in the community, it was huge.
Yeah.
It was huge.
It just grew organically. I mean, my son at the time was we were looking for a youth program, and it was in Caputs. And here you come and jump in, and it turned into the Springfield Titans.
Yeah.
And those kids are at high school still talking about, oh, I'm Titans, or I'm a this person. So very valuable to what you did. Speak about what, also doing that, and during that time, you were becoming a police officer.
Yes.
What made that happen?
I think it was always a thought for me in the back of my mind what I wanted to do. However, in the early years, after college, I was still playing professionally overseas. And so to get into this career, I had to hang it up completely. And at that time, I wasn't ready. So towards the later part of my playing days, I'm like, all right, your knees is hurting, your back, as an athlete,
You know when it's time.
So, still running the organization and, just running a youth program, period. When you want to do it the right way, it takes up a lot of your time. It almost feels like a full-time job. But that's when I was like, the time is now. So I applied and, here we are. And so trying to do this profession and still run the organizations that we were doing, it was a lot. And so I think between me and my family and growing throughout the years, it was like, I think it's time for us to hang up running both football and basketball programs.
Right. And that's when Mr. Aaron Clark came in, Springfield Elite. Really paid attention to the blueprint and kind of kept going from there. That was great. And just so y'all know, she's not playing dress up right here. She's on duty, they gave her a little break here to come in here and talk to the community. So as you decided to hang up the athletics, get away from the day-to-day activities of the Become One Foundation, and you wanted to get into to the police force, you did that, and now you're a resource officer.
Yes.
What is that like, being in our school? Because we know our kids. We have the great ones, and we have the ones like, I got to talk to you a little bit more and say, what is it like on your day-to-day activities going through the district? Because you handle like 7 schools, correct?
Yes.
What does a day like that entail?
So I am assigned to 7 schools. Between me and another school resource officer, he has another 7. It's funny because I just told a coworker 2 days ago, I said, I can't believe I'm getting paid to do this job. Because when I'm going into school, sometimes I don't feel like I'm actually working.
Right.
But some days, it can be busy. And then some days you're getting to know the kids, you're getting to know the staff, you're building that rapport, you're breaking down barriers to what they thought police officers were or what they look like. Or, for me, it's been amazing. When I first started going into the schools in this new position, it was a bit tough. It was slower than the streets that I was on, working evening shift. But then what was more concerning was that kids were afraid of me. And I'm like, I wasn't understanding, but when I started to talk to the children, I understood. And so for me now, it's important that I let them know I'm here to keep you safe. I'm here to help you. You don't have to be afraid of me. So that's the aspect of being a school resource officer that I really enjoy. In every other calls that we handle in the schools, you have your suspicious activities, or you have your kids who just don't like each other and decide to use their hands instead of their words. We mediate, we counsel, we act as law enforcement officers. So we wear many hats when we're walking the halls of the schools here in the district.
I wanted to add on to that at the beginning, and you talking about the kids were scared of you, intimidated by you. How much does social media play into that intimidation for the kids, and what would you say to the younger kids about those things, and taking things for what they're worth and remembering who the person is behind the uniform as well?
That's important. That's extremely important. And I don't think it's so much media, although it has an influence, but it's more so from my conversations with students it's from home. It's their experiences that they've seen or they actually been a part of. And so when they get to know you, you're talking about, I'm actually a human outside of this uniform, they respect you a little bit more. And when they find out that you're actually cool, an officer is like, oh yeah, I can talk to 12 now, or I can talk to 50. And it's like,
Yeah.
all right, well, that's good now.
Right.
You know what I mean? But it's that initial, oh, I'm scared, or they raise their hands, and I'm like, you don't have to do that. Place your hands down. I'm here to keep you safe. I can be your friend. You
yeah.
call me if you need something. Like,
Yeah.
I'm here to help. We don't always show up to bad things, And I think for some of them, that's all they knew,
Right.
or they have an experience of like, oh, you're at my house for this call. You took either my mommy or my daddy, and you try to break that down. It's like, sometimes we do have
do
to,
those things.
arrest people because they did bad things. But, we're also here to help you. Like maybe your mom or dad got a flat on the side of the road. We'll try and help you, in car crashes or, whatever it may be. So when you try to break that down, break that stereotype down with some of them and the stigma that this uniform sometimes carry, they respect it and they get to know you and they're like, oh, they're just like me.
Awesome. What would the Amanda Jackson right now, what would she do? What would she say to the young Amanda Jackson walking these hallways at South High School?
Being as a police officer to the young Amanda?
Being as a Amanda Jackson,
just Amanda?
the police officer, the philanthropist, the community leader. What would the older Amanda Jackson say to the younger Amanda Jackson?
I would probably tell the young Amanda Jackson to continue to follow her dreams, dream big, and stay motivated.
All right. Dream big, stay motivated. Step up, roll your sleeves up, get involved, don't just complain. That's what Amanda does. She's a big part of our community, and we appreciate her. So when you see her out on the beat or in the schools, stop, say hello, and say thank you, because they don't come like this often. We'll be right back on Cat Chat.
All right, Chris, wrapping up the first show of the new school year. Whew. I thought it was phenomenal.
It was. Got a lot of information in. Way to start off with great people on here.
Excellent people.
Fabulous people
Yep.
that were on this show. So it was a good informational session. I know our community got to learn about some things about our guests, and hopefully it's going to be a tough one to match for the next show.
Well, we gotta bring you the energy for the first one of the show. We need you to get excited.
That's right.
Because Cat Chat is here every single month doing this same thing.
Yes.
So gotta give them something to watch.
Now, I did. I don't know about you, if you had or not, but I did. Some people approached me and said, hey, I love watching you on Cat Chat.
Did
I
they?
said, really? I
they?
said, yeah. I was like, okay, cool. So I felt good about that.
Well, our girl Miss Q always watching at the high school. Shout out Miss Q. Shout out Miss
The
Q.
number one fan. And Mr. Darnell Carter. He's a number one fan as well.
Okay.
He can't wait to tune in. He said he gets his popcorn. I said,
Stop.
okay, yeah. Popcorn with hot sauce. Don't play with him. Don't play with him.
Popcorn with hot sauce. Okay.
Franks.
So, all right. Perhaps we're missing something on our table then. Maybe we need popcorn.
Be one day.
Okay. Hey, get your snack.
We
Tune
might
in.
have to get your popcorn session.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. That sounds like a segment coming now.
Well, I think Doug Stoll has to be up there in the number one fans because he's always watching Cat Chat. So glad he was on the show today.
DJ Fresh.
DJ Fresh.
He always has a problem with me singing. Or was it you singing? I think it was Jenna. Was it you singing?
Did it get shady in here?
I don't know. It did get a little dimmer. But shout out DJ Fresh, a.k.a. Mr. Doug Stoll.
All awesome employees. Himself, Miss Gillespie, Mr.
right.
Smith.
That's right. Love
So
it.
excited to honor all of you as employees
Mr.
of the
P.
year.
Mr. P.
Mr. P.
Yeah. I like Mr. P.
Oh, man. They're awesome. Amanda Jackson. So glad that she can be here in our district giving back to the kids.
Yeah. It's amazing some of the things she did. Saving the Broncos and Tigers folding, which is our only football youth program, and it was basketball, and her stepping in to take that over, to get that to the point where somebody else can go, which it turned into Springfield Elite now. I mean, what would our community have been like these last 5-6 years, even with our youth violence? Where would that would have been if we didn't even have a youth program for them to participate in things in the summer? You know, so shout out to Amanda. Great job. Keep doing what you do.
I have to tell you, my favorite thing from the Levi Duncan interview that he said was win or learn. Like, that's posted in his house for his kids. And just a reminder that no matter what experience you go through, like, you've either won the experience or you've learned from it, but you didn't fail.
Yes.
And I really like that. I think that's something that's going to stick with me. I really appreciated that.
That's right. Always got to find the wins in situation. You always won in something. Even if you took a loss, you always learned something. So, yeah, I love that. Either win or learn.
Well, that pretty much wraps up the show today, but I think we have one more little surprise for them, Chris, right?
Yeah, when we come back for the next show, right?
So if you remember, again, last year we had our incredible student host, Zoe Bisdorf.
Remember her?
We got to send this to her. She has since graduated, gone off to Ohio State University to go to college, but we're looking for someone else to fill the seat. So next month, we should have our student host taking Zoe's spot, stepping into the next era of Cat Chat. So a little surprise ending there for you about who that could be.
All right. I can't wait. Let's find it out. Hey, thank you all for coming to our show to kick off the new school year. I hope everybody is ready to go for the school year. Kids, if you're listening, hey, stay calm, breathe, and let the classroom take over. Don't let the classroom take over you. You take over the classroom. Handle your business, do what you got to do, and do it respectfully and responsibly. And we'll see you next time on Cat Chat.
Bye.